In the shadowed chambers of ancient palaces, where power was absolute and women were often prizes rather than souls, a hidden world of rituals transformed young girls into offerings for kings. These were not mere preparations, but intricate ceremonies, as beautiful as they were brutal, designed to mold a girl often barely 13 into a vision of perfection for a ruler's gaze. Plucked from their homes, stripped of their past, they were led into the heart of the palace, where their bodies, minds, and spirits were reshaped to serve. From the opulent courts of the Ottoman Empire to the silken halls of imperial China, these rituals were a mirror of women's place in society, valued for their beauty, yet bound by their submission. This is the story of how women were prepared to be presented to the king, a tale of adornment and erasure, of resilience beneath the weight of silk and scent. The ritual of physical purification. The journey began with purification, a ceremonial cleansing that was as much about ritual as it was about the body. In the Ottoman Empire, a girl chosen for the Sultan's harem was led to the hammam, a steamy sanctuary where skilled attendants scrubbed her with rose water and crushed herbs, sandalwood, jasmine, and myrrh until her skin glowed like polished alabaster. Every hair was meticulously removed, her body anointed with rare oils from distant trade routes, her hair washed with chamomile to catch the light. This was no mere bath, but a transformation, a stripping away of her former self to craft a vessel deemed worthy of the Sultan's eye. In imperial China, the ritual was equally elaborate. Within the Forbidden City's inner courts, maidens destined for the emperor were bathed in water infused with lotus petals and green tea, their skin soft with rice smoke to mirror the moon's radiance. Attendants, often older women trained in the art of beauty, massaged their bodies with camellia oil, ensuring every inch was flawless. In Mughal India, turmeric and saffron pastes were applied to brighten the skin, a ritual tied to both beauty and spiritual purity. These acts of cleansing were not about comfort but control, rendering the girl's body a blank canvas, ready to be painted with the palace's ideals. Her individuality was washed away with the water, her purity a prerequisite for her role as an offering. Adornment, training, and control once cleansed, the girl entered a world of adornment and discipline, where beauty was sculpted and obedience ingrained. In the Ottoman harem, she was draped in silks dyed in hues of sapphire and china. She was taught poetry and music, not for her own joy, but to charm the emperor, her voice tuned to please. In Mughal India, she mastered dance, each gesture precise, her body a tool of diplomacy. Hours were spent learning etiquette, how to bow, how to speak softly, how to suppress her own desires. Her will was reshaped, her spirit molded to fit the palace's rigid frame. Refusal was not an option, complaint was forbiddance. She was to be a vision of perfection, her heart silenced to serve the king's fleeting whims. In crimson, her wrists heavy with gold bangles, her eyes lined with gold to deepen their allure. In China's Tang dynasty, she wore flowing hanfu, its sleeves embroidered with peonies, her hair pinned with jade combs that gleamed under lantern light. In Mughal courts, she was adorned with saris woven with golden zari, her ankles chiming with silver anklets. Yet these adornments were not for her, they were for the king, her body a canvas for his desires. Beyond appearance, she was trained to embody submission. In the Ottoman seraglio, she learned to walk with measured steps, her gaze lowered, her smile offered only when commanded. In China, she was taught poetry and music, not for her own joy, but to charm the emperor, her voice tuned to please. In Mughal India, she mastered dance, each gesture precise, her body a tool of diplomacy. Hours were spent learning etiquette, how to bow, how to speak softly, how to suppress her own desires. Her will was reshaped, her spirit molded to fit the palace's rigid frame. Refusal was not an option, complaint was forbiddance. She was to be a vision of perfection, her heart silenced to serve the king's fleeting whims. The first encounter with the king, The moment of presentation was no romantic encounter, but a carefully orchestrated offering, steeped in silence and submission. In the Ottoman Empire, the girl was led through Topkapi's gilded halls, flanked by attendants, her head bowed, her heart racing. She was presented not as a person, but as a gift, her name often replaced with the title Pearl of the Palace or Rose of the Court, erasing her past. In China's Forbidden City, she stood before the emperor, her silk robes trembling, her face a mask of practiced calm, knowing one glance could elevate her or condemn her to oblivion. In Mughal India, she was unveiled in a durbar, her beauty a diplomatic gesture, her presence a silent plea for favor. This encounter was devoid of intimacy. The king's gaze judged her worth, not her soul. If she pleased him, she might rise perhaps to favored concubine, perhaps to mother of a prince. If she failed, she was returned to the harem's shadows, her beauty a fading echo, her life confined to the palace's margins, forbidden to marry or leave. Her preparation, though meticulous, guaranteed nothing but the chance to be seen, her fate hanging on a moment's caprice. A mirror of women's status, these rituals were more than traditions. They were a reflection of women's place in ancient societies where beauty was a commodity and the body a tool to be polished and consumed. In the Ottoman Empire, a concubine's preparation was a process of objectification, her individuality erased to serve the sultan's power. In China, her adornment was a performance of imperial harmony, her body a symbol of the dynasty's perfection. In Mughal India, her beauty was a political asset, used to forge alliances or secure favor, yet rarely her own to wield. Across these cultures, the preparation stripped women of agency, their bodies sculpted to please, not to be cherished. This process revealed a harsh truth. Women were valued for their utility, not their humanity. Their beauty, though celebrated, was a chain, their preparation a ritual of control. They were taught to suppress their fears, their dreams, their voices. Their bodies offered as ornaments to adorn the king's court. Yet, in their silence, they carried a resilience that history often overlooked, their spirits enduring beneath the weight of silk and expectation. As the echoes of ancient palaces fade, we stand in the quiet of their empty halls, where the scent of rosewater lingers and the weight of silk still whispers of forgotten women. The concubines' girls torn from their homes, bathed in ritual, adorned with jewels, and molded into offerings for kings, were more than their beauty, more than the roles they were forced to play. They were souls who endured, their spirits unbroken despite the chains of tradition. From the steamy hammams of Ottoman Istanbul to the lotus-scented baths of China's Forbidden City, they were polished to please, their bodies sculpted as ornaments, yet their hearts carried dreams too vast for any palace to contain. Women like Wu Zixin, who rose from concubine to empress, or harem, sultan who wielded love as power, remind us that some defied their confines, but countless others vanished their names, unwritten their pain, a silent hymn sung in the shadows. Their preparation was no mere ritual, it was a mirror of a world that valued women for their utility, not their humanity. Yet, in their silence, they wove a legacy of resilience, their strength a fire that burned beneath the weight of expectation. We invite you to carry their fire forward, to let their resilience inspire your own. Subscribe now. Join us in celebrating the women who turned pain into strength, who transformed their chains into crowns. Watch the full video to uncover their hidden truths and share their stories. For every woman's voice deserves to echo, every wound deserves to heal, every legacy deserves to live on. Let us weave their past into our present, honoring the concubines, the queens, the unsung heroines whose spirits still light the path for all who dare to dream. Today, we tell their stories not to mourn, but to honor, to lift their voices from history's margins. These women, whose beauty was both gift and burden, remind us that every woman carries a spark of defiance, a will to shine despite the odds. Their tales are not relics, but beacons, calling every woman today to embrace her power, to wear her identity like armor, to claim her voice in a world that sometimes seeks to silence it. On our channel, we dedicate ourselves to these women, to the untold stories of those who walked through fire and emerged as legends. We invite you to carry their fire forward, to let their resilience inspire your own. Subscribe now. Join us in celebrating the women who turned pain into strength, who transformed their chains into crowns. Watch the full video to uncover their hidden truths and share their stories, for every woman's voice deserves to echo. Every wound deserves to heal. Every legacy deserves to live on. Let us weave their past into our present, honoring the concubines, the queens, the unsung heroines whose spirits still light the path for all who dare to dream.